welcome to it. This is the finish line right here on the A1 Sports. My name is Lonwabo Mbadlanyana, but between you and I, you can call me Looney. I give you the latest roundup of all your sporting fixtures, whether it be here in our own backyard or internationally, so across the way somewhere. If you want to be part of the family, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. It's somewhere down there. You know where it is. And while you're at it, hit that bell so you can get the notifications for when these videos drop. Now this week on the finish line, we have some rugby and some soccer news to get through. But before we get into it, you can find us also, man, at the A1 Sports on all your social media platforms. Join us over there as well and be part of the family. It's a vibe. Now we kick things off with some rugby news as the Rugby Championship began its first week in earnest this week. New Zealand and Australia started things off down under, but we all know how that game ended. I told you on the bench how that game was going to end. We're more concerned about what was going on in Durban. Kingsmead was the stadium, even though Durban, guys, you don't like your rugby. Don't show up for international fixtures. Maybe it's because it's Argentina. But it was a really, really cool affair. 6 tries from South Africa, 3 from Argentina. South Africa won that match 34-21 and secured a bonus point while they were at it. Lucanio opened up the scoring with his try. Nicolas Sanchez followed up 7 minutes later. Apiwe Janchi dotted down twice in the 31st and 41st minutes, and as well as not to be outdone on the opposite wing, Makazole Mapimpi dotted down twice, showing off his try-scoring efforts. And in the 69th minute, my man of the match and my mom's man of the match actually, Faf de Klerk dotted down a try. Sterling effort from him, man. We really appreciate his efforts. Henry Pollard was sketchy with the boot and missed a couple of key conversions and some penalties there, which raises the question once again of who should be number 10. Should Elchin be back in there, or should Henry stay on? Let us know in the comments section of where you stand with regards to the number 10 jersey for the Springboks. I mean, Henry did all right, but the kicking, my guy, we need to discuss that. We really, really need to. Now, Rassie Erasmus, the head coach, is running some changes and will be moving some guys off and sending them back to their clubs. Erasmus has trimmed down his 35-man squad with the likes of Lwazim Vovo, Jesse Krill, Ross Crenier, and in the forwards, Marvin Ori, Jean-Luc Dupré, and as well as Kumbuza Noche, all being told, yo man, you need to go back to your clubs. Now I'm looking forward to seeing what the Springboks can do down in Mendoza when they head out to Argentina for the second week of the Rugby Championship. Like I said, man, we're not going to talk about what New Zealand did to Australia this past weekend. It's more of the same, man, but that gap between New Zealand and everybody else is pretty wide, and I hope that when the time comes for South Africa to face New Zealand, they'll be ready to do so, because the gap is like a huge chasm right now. Now moving on to some football, there weren't that many Premier League fixtures being played locally as a lot of teams were playing either in Champions League and some teams got a chance to rest. But the games that did play looked like this. Some of the fixtures that went down this past weekend in the PSL include Polokwane City and Limpopo locking horns in a Limpopo derby. Polokwane City pulling out the win. 2-0 is how that one ended to them. In Cape Town City entertained Golden Arrows. No goals, no scores in that game. It ended 0-0, each team taking a point for their efforts. Chipa United entertained Black Leopards in Mdantsane. Chipa United almost lost that one, but it took a certain Botswanan to come back for them, and that game ended 2-2. They're sharing the spoils in that one. And on Saturday evening, the big fixture of the night was SuperSport United playing Wits. 1-0 is how that match ended in SuperSport's favor. They take 3 points for their efforts. On Sunday, AmaZulu took on Free State Stars. 2-1 is how it ended, AmaZulu taking 3 points. And Bloemfontein Celtic entertained Orlando Pirates. 1-0 is how it ended as Steve Kompella's men take points off Orlando Pirates, who have been struggling to finish in the current season. On Friday evening, there was some CAF Champions League action happening as Mamelodi Sundowns took on Wydad Casablanca away from home out at the Stade de Mohammed V. Very lovely name indeed. Now, the boys lost there 1-0, and it kind of puts them in a precarious situation because they're just outside qualifying for the next round in their group, which is Group C. They currently sit third, and a win will put them into second and will qualify them for the next round. Wydad Casablanca has already qualified after their win against Sundowns, but Pitso is in high spirits, and he's saying that, 3 points are coming in their next game. They have to win if they want to qualify for the last 8 of the CAF Champions League. So we wish them all the best, and man, bring back 3 points and bring back the W. It's not going to be easy because they will be playing away from home, but hopefully they can pull it off. That's all I have for you right here on the finish line this week. We'll be back next week with more action and more roundup of whatever's been going on in sports right now. You can catch us later on this week on the bench, as we will be benching out at the Granddaddy, and we'll have a special guest in joining us and chatting everything to do with sport. Man, it's going to be a vibe, so be sure not to miss out on it, and also hit that bell if you want to get the notifications. If you want to find us though, check us out at the A1 Sports, and don't forget to drop those comments. We'd love to hear from you. But from me, salute ya.